Congressman Tom Tancredo and TV anchor Lou Dobbs have raised the profile of the immigration issue. Have they contributed positively to the dialogue, or have they made the issue much more difficult to resolve?
Hi, Lou. No, I've been on the Lou Dobbs show several times, and I think here's the deal. In terms of getting the federal government to at least begin appropriating more money and resources to the border, some of that helped. And we have seen substantially more federal resources placed at the border than we had when I became governor. And that makes a real difference. In Arizona, I kind of glanced over this in my talk, but before we had the National Guard at the border, with the federal government footing the bill, we were getting 4,000, 5,000 a day, easy. But that National Guard, with everything else that's been put down there, we have seen a substantial reduction in apprehensions. And we deduce from that that we have fewer people crossing the border, and I think that's a correct deduction. So to the extent their rhetoric helped get some more federal resources, they did provide a service. That's the good side. Here's the other side. They have both refused to acknowledge that what they have proposed won't work, that it is more rhetoric than real, and it's not a solution to this problem. And the way I know this is, A, because I know this issue very, very well. I deal with it day in, day out, and I have, as I mentioned, since I was the United States Attorney. But also because the people of Arizona get this. I mean, if you just look at how they've voted over the past few years, people of Arizona, they're mad, they're frustrated. As I've said, they have every right to be so. They have put into place initiatives to foreclose the supply of public benefits to illegal immigrants. They don't want their taxpayer dollars going for that. On the other hand, myself, Gabby Giffords, who was recently elected to the Congress from the southern part of the state, Harry Mitchell, who recently defeated J.D. Hayworth and came to the Congress from the Maricopa County area. Their opponents all were banging kind of the Lou Dobbs, Tom Tancredo line, and it didn't win. And it didn't win because people in Arizona, and I think they're probably a little bit beyond people in other non-border states, understand that immigration has to be dealt with all the elements I set out, and that if all you do is talk about building a wall or sealing the border, you're not giving them a real solution. Because you know why? They've been to the border. Because you know why? They understand how whole elements of their economies depend on immigrant labor, and to some degree now illegal immigrant labor. So their thinking is farther beyond. Now, if I do a talk in Arizona, I will take a vote. How many of you are in favor of illegal immigration? Raise your hand. Nobody raises their hand. Okay, we have consensus. Okay, we have consensus. All right, everybody's opposed to illegal immigration. Now, what do we do about it? Let's talk about it. Let's work our way through the things that need to happen. And by the time you actually have that discussion and you talk with people and explain what goes on, you'll find that you have another emerging consensus. And the emerging consensus is for comprehensive reform that deals with the security, safety issues at the border, but also deals with the employment issues underlying the whole migration that's happening.